Okay, welcome to today's first live session, being the pre-London Open Market live session, where we are going to be looking into the chart, searching for potential short-term trading opportunities before the London market opens. Okay. All right. Yesterday, before the market closed, we saw some action, especially from the New Zealand dollar crosses, where price moved in heavy momentum on that news announcement. Let's move on into the Forex Factory economical calendar to see those high impact news events that we are expecting for today. We already discussed this yesterday. The most important of all here is the ECB press conference and the interest rate announcement coming from the Euro axis. Okay. All right. So let's not repeat ourselves again. Let's just move on into the charts and conduct our reviews. All right, you are now looking into the New Zealand dollar against the Swiss franc. Yesterday we were talking about this pair, where I was telling you that this already is giving the hint. Okay, was it this? I don't think so. But let's look into the long term. In the weekly time frame, we're talking about a possible flat bottom triangle, where I was advising that you should not click on your buy button at this particular level, and that okay, and that this is a potential area for price to push down, and as you can see, price is now respecting that level with good momentum. Anyway, in the 1 hour time frame, okay, in the daily time frame rather, we have seen the breakout of that rising trend line, that breakout right here, and we are seeing some form of a pullback. Well, we are going to wait for that candle to close. If this candle close the way it is, then we have a breakout pullback where we'll place our sell stop order right there. Sell stop order and stop loss just above. But it is still too early to say. This pair still has enough momentum to push to the downside. So we are going to just keep our eyes open, searching for intraday trading opportunities. Okay, in the 4 hours time frame, this is the key level of support that has been taken out. Let me color that. Okay, the this level here is now too far away. All right, so price is reacting off these other levels of former support right here as resistance. This still looks bearish, but not really a very good market flow setup, so we wouldn't want to get involved in this. Price is bearish. We are not getting involved with this. Okay, just still watching. Remember, price is only breaking out from this range, a range that we have followed for the entire week, something that we have been looking into. We are now beginning to see a possible clear directional bias to the downside. We hope price remains pushing to the downside in this pair. All right, let's see the New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. All right, this was the one that I was talking about yesterday. Okay, that this bottom here is a hint that price is likely to break to the downside. Eventually we got the breakout after so many days of staying within this range. Also remember that we talked about the directional bias. Whenever you see this type of channel formation, that it's usually to the downside, and right now price has broken to the downside. This level right now is has done its own job, so you take it out. We can now switch this to this. Okay, Let me zoom in the chart. This is even too early. You can take that out. Just keep this one. I'm not sure we are going to see that pullback, but let's just keep that and this to this. Again, we have been in a channel for so many days. All right, sideways price behavior for so many days, so we are only seeing the breakout right now. And as you can see, we now have 2 down days, which is the beginning of a trend. 2 down days, the beginning of a trend. We hope today is going to be another down day. Okay, in the weekly time frame, nothing there, but we took a trade already. We're talking about this spinning top right there as a low quality reversal signal in the daily time frame. Fortunately, our trade was right there, and we are now sitting in some small profit. Okay, like I said, this trade is a trade that should run for at least two months. It's a trade that I shouldn't touch. It's a trade that I should just keep running. So I am not in a hurry to close this trade. So let's just let it run no matter what happens. If you are able to let your trade run very close to your stop loss level, why won't you let it run when it is in profit? So just keep that trade. Not touching it. All right, nothing else here. The sterling pounds against the Canadian dollar. The sterling pounds continue to gain strength. Price seems to be heading to that next level of resistance. That's one right there. Daily time frame, nothing to trade here. 4 hours time frame, solid trend. 1 hour time frame, the pullbacks are hard. We might not see pullbacks right now. Okay, nothing here as well. Let's let that go. American dollar against the Japanese yen, solidly bearish pair here. Price has a high withdrawal of traffic to push to the downside, but the trading opportunity is not there. The entry is not there, and we cannot force anything at this time. Just let this pair go. Sterling pounds against the Swiss franc are reacting off that upper channel, about that upper expanding triangle leg. This is a sign of market confusion. We also not trade in this type of market condition. We will not be trading anything there. Okay, the New Zealand dollar against the Canadian dollar, also another one that I was talking about, that I am finding something interesting as this pair is heading towards a high tension level of resistance. You can see how price tend to respect in that level. Let's even keep it here. All right, in the 4 hours time frame, a rising trend line has been broken. That's the rising trend line there. That's the breakout pullback continuation pattern. Again, another low quality breakout pullback continuation pattern. Not trading. This is the best area to look for your short entries, somewhere around in here. So if you get some pullbacks there, that is where we'll be looking for short entries and calling for a short trade. For now, that was the news impact. Little pullbacks there. Nothing to trade here now. Just keep it. We are watching this area. Don't go short around here. You need some more pullbacks somewhere around in here before we can look for short entries. The New Zealand dollar against the American dollar. This is one that took off yesterday. Went to that level of resistance that we were talking about before the news brought it back down. Right now price came down below that level. Remember I was talking about this line, that once price comes back below that line and it's not able to go back up, that is when we will be able to conclude. Just give me a minute. That's when we'll be able to conclude that the bears are ready to take price back down. And as it is, this is a terribly wrong area for anyone to go long. Okay, don't click on your buy button with despair. Let me see. Okay, don't go long here. Price is likely going to come back down on the New Zealand dollar against the American dollar, but again, no valid setup, so it's better to stay flat. Do not trade. The euro against the New Zealand dollar. Yesterday, I was talking in the Telegram group that this pair was looking absolutely bullish. In fact, um, the charts do not lie. Price action is king. Price action is what tells you everything. In no distant time, we saw that solid push to the upside. My belief here is that the euro against the American dollar is heading towards this level right here. So we are just going to keep this one running, uh, um, looking for possible entry. Let's see the shorter time frames. We have a double top. I'm going to mark that double of a double top. Okay. Or this one first, where price is currently reacting off. Solid level, solid bounce is going on right here. All of this looks towards next week, but if you are ready to trade the euro against the New Zealand dollar, do not go short. We're looking for long opportunities. Not really clear for us right now, although we are breaking out of this range, and this is a good place to look for your buy entry. Still a micro price behavior. We are not ready to take a trade now. American dollar against the Swiss franc still pushing just below that level of confluence, that confluence point in the monthly time frame. Again, straight moves, no entry for us. Straight moves, no valid trading opportunity. Sterling pounds against Australian dollar. We have a valid London Open breakout set up here. Let's mark this low. Mark that high, the Tokyo range. We can follow this in the 15 minutes time frame. Right, it's a nice valid London Open breakout setup. This is the Tokyo range, so let's keep this. We will be ready to trade breakouts in either directions, either to the upside or to the downside. This is one we are following for today. The Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, failure to break to the downside and a possible expanding triangle. Take out this. Keep this. Very chaotic market. Limited trading of this. Right, this is possibly going to hit this level for another push to the downside. Market confusion. We are totally out of this. We are not trading here. Right. What else? Euro against the American dollar. Obviously heading to that zone. I'm not sure anything can stop that. So bullish, and limited entry. Limited entry for us. Okay, sterling pounds against the American dollar, similar to the euro against the American dollar, broken all levels of breaking all levels of resistance, sitting high up there. Anyway, it's still part of that fake breakout. Let's see how price can stay high up there for now. Okay, if price is able to come back down, then we are going to see a whole fake breakout right here. Straight move, no valid entry given. Actually, we got that market flow set up around in here. We discussed about this, but we told you we're not going long because of this level that was running through there as resistance. And even in the 1 hour time frame, you could clearly see the battle around that line. Look at that reaction there. Euro against the Japanese yen range, sterling pounds against the New Zealand dollar. We talked about this too when we discussed the weekly candle. That pin bar here has a nice a possible push to the upside. This is just too bullish right now. If this closes the way it is today, we will be placing a buy stop order for further pushes to the upside. And keep this. Read this. So bullish. Right, euro against the Australian dollar in range. Australian dollar against the Swiss franc also in that market confusion. All right, majority of the pairs right now are still in ranges. We are only seeing some trying to break out of their ranges. Not really a very suitable time to take some trades. American dollar against the Canadian dollar, absolutely bearish. It seems to miss this entry. This is a breakout pullback, a continuation move, where we would have placed our sell stop order there, triggered by now, stop loss there. Let's see the daily time frame. Okay. The 3 SMA is coming from the weekly time frame. First bounce. Okay. Anyway, not really a miss, but then price should be pushing to the downside on the breakout of this flat bottom triangle. That's the breakout pullback continuation move. So price still has a long way to go to the downside. But since it's the first bounce in the weekly time frame, we can let that one go as well. We only need market condition to be better for us to trade. Okay, that is on there. Still in range. Euro against the Canadian dollar, still in range. Euro against the Swiss franc, nothing there. Australian dollar against the American dollar, super bullish, hitting heavy level of resistance. Hitting heavy level of resistance. Not an area to go long. This is a heavy level of resistance for the Australian dollar against the American dollar. Not a place to go long. We're waiting for price to make a pullback to retest this key zone. The pullback fell shy pips before shooting to the upside, and it happened quite early, too early enough. The Swiss franc, the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen, anything here, very choppy market. Euro against sterling pounds, still pushing to the downside, approaching support right now, but still in that channel. Approaching support. This is a bad market condition. We will not trade here for now. Sterling pounds against the Japanese yen, also trading around resistance zone. That's resistance right here. Within this channel, come back down. These are all the result of a low volume market. Swiss franc against Japanese yen, still range. Choppy market, still in that wide range. Actually, I'm going to just keep that range zone. Avoid the trading here. And I think that's basically all. Nothing much happening aside from those New Zealand dollar spike. So we have just one trade still running, New Zealand dollar against Japanese yen. That's the only trade that is running right now, in very small profit. We are going to keep that trade. Like I said, this is a trade that should run for a minimum of 2 months. So I'm really not going to touch this trade, so I'll just keep it running. Whenever it's time to take out some profits, I will definitely let you know. Okay, very weak American dollar. Okay, that's basically all. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, contributions, please feel very free to post them in the live chat window or in the Telegram group, and we will respond to them all together. Thanks for watching. I will be talking again later on. Bye bye.